Welcome everyone to the show Beyond Madrid, a show where we discuss how the city of Madrid is turning out to be the capital of the world of sports, and we discuss how the city is slowly adapting towards that change. And the first step towards that is, of course, to discuss more about the sport that we all love, the primary sport of this city, the sport of football. And to discuss that in more details, I have with me a much esteemed presence. Please welcome Bijit Sarkar. Bijit, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
A brief introduction of yourself to the audience is that Bijit is a sports marketing expert working with organizations like the Legends Association of the Spanish Football Federation, working in organizations like the World Football Summit and MadCup, amongst others. Bijit, to start off, do you agree with the statement that Madrid is the sports capital of the world, not just in football?
Absolutely yes, because in Madrid, we have every sport present. You have tennis, you have the Mutua Open MadCup. Sorry, you have the Mutua Open tennis tournament. You have rugby. You have football, which is hugely present in Madrid. You have hockey. You have golf, and now you're going to have the Formula One from next year.
Yeah.
So it has every sort of
sports.
Also,
the NFL is coming.
Also, the NFL is coming. Yes.
Well, you personally have, of course, worked with the grassroots, worked with elite football, and also worked with the legends. So you have covered almost all fields of the sport here in this city.
Yeah.
What do you think kind of draws the attention towards this particular city? What is the sentiment behind it?
You see, one of the things that draws people to Madrid as a city is, of course, the presence of the clubs. Like you have two huge clubs present. You have 5 teams which are playing in the first division of Spanish football, and also you have some of the best academies in the world. You go to any suburb in Madrid, you go to towns like Majadahonda, you go to Rayo Vallecano, they have academies present. They have football academies where you can pursue your passion, you can pursue your hobby, or you can pursue your dream of becoming a footballer.
So what defines this fan culture or this community-based initiative towards approaching football?
For me, I think it's the Ayuntamiento de Madrid, the City Council of Madrid, which made possible these facilities, these possibilities of pursuing your passion or dream as a footballer. So every child, no matter where they come from, whether they come from Australia, whether they come from, Iran, from India, from Sri Lanka, from Australia, or even if they're in Madrid, they can play football. They can, just play football as much as they want.
Yeah, and when we talk of facilities, another important thing that has come up in the recent years is how so many big institutions have either started from Madrid or have shifted towards Madrid. We saw the International Olympic Committee shift in Madrid. We saw the place you work in, the World Football Summit. They're based in Madrid. Absolutely. What do you think draws so many international clout of organizations here in the city?
See, talking about the World Football Summit, which you brought up, so the World Football Summit is headquartered in Madrid. They have events, all around the world. So, for example, they had a recent event in Morocco. There is a World Football Summit event happening in Mexico in June. There's one in Hong Kong, which is happening in September. There's one in Riyadh, which is happening in December, which is the 3rd edition in Saudi Arabia. And the flagship event is in October in Madrid, which is the home of the World Football Summit. So World Football Summit is the biggest football B2B event in the world. It's one of the biggest, and they're based in Madrid, So since we are based in Madrid, World Football Summit can draw people from all around the world for the event.
Yeah, it is quite an international, diversified field to work with. Also, of course, the Latin connection they have. Absolutely. In terms of language, in terms of culture. So this is probably a good route to network towards the rest of the world.
Not only Latin, anywhere in Europe. For example, you can reach any European city within, say, 2 hours to 2.5 hours. You can reach Paris, Munich, you can reach London, anywhere in Europe, which is very closely packed.
Yeah. Right. We of course, we're talking about the organizations, but something more that we need to talk about is the clubs, the heart and soul of football in this city.
Absolutely,
the big clubs. And to start off, of course, we have the shark in the tank, Real Madrid. So we will come back to you discussing about Real Madrid, but before that, we have our correspondent Elena Terlikas from the Bernabéu having a piece to us. Let's have a look.
Próxima estación.
Santiago Bernabéu.
Hi Ritam, thank you. Elena here at the Santiago Bernabéu, and here in Madrid, football is more than just a sport, it's a way of life. And at the middle of it all stands the Santiago Bernabéu, the iconic one, just remodeled, and it's amazing. It's a staple for the city, and it's one of the world's greatest attractions here in Madrid. And also, we're going to explore how Real Madrid has become one of the greatest cities ambassador of football here in Madrid. When you hear the name Madrid, what is the first thing that comes to your mind?
I only think of Real Madrid. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Beyond Madrid.
The Santiago Bernabéu attracts about 1 million visitors just alone in its stadium tour, and that doesn't count for the games as well. It also brings in 350 million to 500 million in revenue for the city of Madrid. You can see over here we have food, we have merchandise that will carry across the continent and help bring exposure to the city of Madrid and Real Madrid. Real Madrid has turned the stadium into a symbol of excellency, with pride, ambition, and all of these amazing fans. A victory here is a victory for the city of Madrid, and it's seen across the world, and that's what brings people to the Santiago Bernabéu to cheer on Real Madrid, one of the best clubs in the world.
Right then, what a wonderful video, no?
Absolutely.
But do you believe with the sentence that she made, Real Madrid is the brand ambassador of the city of Madrid?
Look, Elena made a fantastic video. I don't think after that I need to add anything, but yes, for sure it's the brand ambassador of football.
Yeah.
Because, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world.
If not the biggest.
If not the biggest, and some of the best players in the world played for Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
And it still attracts the best players in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Every player, except maybe the ones in Barcelona, they possibly have a dream of playing for Real Madrid once or twice, Even players who play for Chelsea, Manchester United or Bayern Munich, they dream of moving to Real Madrid, which is not the other way around. Not many players at their peak move from Real Madrid to Manchester United, for example.
Yeah, right. Of course, we have been delving deep into Real Madrid and Los Blancos setup. There is another giant here in this city in terms of Los Colchoneros, the Atlético de Madrid. How do you perceive the fan movement and how influential that club has been to the city? Because they are, of course, a very passion-driven, community-driven club, but also very global, has a wide fan following in the world.
You see, for me, I've stayed so many years in Madrid, and what I've observed is Atlético Madrid has probably equal number of fans as Real Madrid in the city of Madrid.
In the city of Madrid.
Probably more.
Mm-hmm.
Real Madrid is very international, but Atlético de Madrid is, for me, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but it's more followed by fans in Madrid. And also a lot of countries like Colombia, like Uruguay, they support Atlético Madrid because of connections to players who played for them.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, you had Diego Godin and Falcao played for Atletico Madrid. So you have a lot of Uruguayan fans for Atletico de Madrid. Luis Suarez, yes.
Yeah, right. So Atletico Madrid, of course, we understand, a very passion-driven, very community-driven club. When we talk about community-driven clubs, and especially in Madrid, another big name is the city of Vallecas and Rayo Vallecano. They're having a wonderful season.
Yeah.
But if we just not talk of the football in this season, but talk about how influential they have been towards the community. They're a very opinionated club. They have a lot of voicing in their stadiums, and they do not want a lot of tourist attractions, no?
Yes, Rayo Vallecano, as you described, is a neighborhood club.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how big they grow, how big they are, they still want to maintain their identity as a neighborhood club.
Yeah.
So even if they're playing in a European competition, they still want, you have to stand in a queue to buy a ticket.
Right.
So for me, it's fantastic because it's one of the clubs which really maintains their roots.
Yeah.
they're maintaining their identity, and they're passion driven. You see the Vallecano fans.
Yeah.
They follow their clubs with equal passion, whether they're playing in the first division or whether they're playing in the second division.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that even if they qualify for the Champions League next year, probably they'll follow with the same intensity.
Right.
So that's amazing to see.
Yeah, and you get like huge banners of working class in the stadium. I've
Absolutely.
recently been and
Yeah.
I had to stand for a 1 hour
The
queue.
social messages in the banners is
Yeah.
incredible.
And I had to stand in a 1 hour queue to get a ticket.
Yeah.
There's something you don't
That's
find.
the identity of Rayo
Yeah, you don't
Vallecano.
find that in 2025.
Absolutely.
Nowhere. And of course, very historically rich club.
Yeah.
Again, something that connects rich history. If we talk in the city of Madrid, is the city of Getafe.
Yes.
We cannot discuss football in the city without discussing the city of Getafe and the football club there.
Right.
How do you perceive football in that city?
You see, Getafe, not many people knew earlier that it's a club based in the community of Madrid. You know, so if you remember in 2008 when they almost knocked out Bayern Munich in the UEFA Cup,
Euro Cup, yeah.
UEFA Cup. So that time people knew, okay, there's a club called Getafe and they're not to be messed with, and they are based in Madrid. So along with the Real Madrids and the Atlético de Madrid, there's a Getafe also not to be messed with, you know. And some of the very good players like Marco Correa, a lot of others, they played in Getafe, like Jaime Gavilan, for example.
Yeah. They have produced a lot of talents, and of course the game you mentioned, I remember it was probably 3-3 and then went on to the penalties.
Yes.
And the world was shocked that Bayern Munich are facing a team called Getafe
And it was
struggling.
a very strong Bayern Munich team.
It was very strong Bayern Munich team at that time. Right. And so success is of course not the primary factor of supporting clubs here in Madrid. Of course there are successful clubs, probably it is the most successful city in the world, but it still is not a factor. Still, when we talk about recent success, a club that recently got promoted back again to the first division is Leganés, isn't it? They're also like Los Pepineros, a very culture-driven, identity-driven club.
You know, when I look at La Liga and when I look at Leganés right now, it's amazing to see that, you know, if you look at their history, they are from a pepino growing region in Madrid. I mean, Leganés is a small suburb. And from there you have a club coming and standing toe-to-toe with the giants like Real Madrid or Atlético de Madrid or Barcelona. And they, you know, a lot of good players like Samuel Eto'o, like Martin Braithwaite, they played for Leganés. You know, so they are standing toe-to-toe with them, and they're giving equal fight.
Right. We will sort of want to discuss a bit more about Leganés because I find it absolutely fascinating, their journey so far. It's been like a dream come true, 10 years down the lane. So I would like to discuss a bit more about Leganés from someone from the club that we have with us digitally. So let's hear from him what he has to say.
Víctor Marín, I'm the head of communication and marketing in the club. I've been working for Leganés during 15 years. We are in the south of Madrid, and last year we were in second division, and we have the opportunity to come up to the first division. This year we are fighting with all these big teams, of course, in our community, but all around Spain. Our community of fans here in Leganés are around 10,000 people that are usually coming to our stadium, at this Butarque Stadium. But we have fans all around the world, not only here in Madrid or in Spain, but all around the world. And thanks to Leganés, a lot of people that are young people that want to find a job can find a job in our club. There are the economically too. For example, tourism. All the people that come to Leganés to visit the city. All the people that come to all the bars around the stadiums and to drink a Coke, a beer, or whatever during the match. We generate money not only for the club but for the other companies all around the city. We have, for example, a business club in our club that join a lot of companies from Leganés and from Madrid and from Spain too. So all these companies make business between them. So we are not only making business for us, but we make business for others. So I don't know, all the marketing action. We want to connect with all the companies in Leganés to make things for us. I don't know, for example, all the cartelería, all the papers, all the posters, all these things. A company from Leganés make for us all these things. So, of course, job and the economic is really important. We are really important for the community, for Leganés. I think we are one of the most important players in the city because, of course, we have a hospital. In the city there are other, I don't know, maybe the council, but Leganés, Club Deportivo Leganés, I think is what the church, maybe for really religious people, of course. But I think Club Deportivo Leganés is the club that join everybody, and that everybody in the city supports Club Deportivo Leganés. We are a humble club. We are not as big as, of course, Real Madrid or Atlético de Madrid. I think are our neighbors, and I think the people could feel affinity of Leganés. We, for example, we go to the schools to tell with our players to visit all the children of our community, and I feel what we try is that everybody here in our city feel proud of what we are doing, more than on the pitch, of what we do out of the pitch. That is important for us too. Madrid is a capital not only for football, but for a lot of sports. I think we can find here in our community a lot of offer that we can make. For example, going to obviously Real Madrid, Atlético Madrid, Leganés, Getafe, and Rayo Vallecano. But apart from that, we have basketball. We have other sports. We can go to watch and see the swimming pool, girls and boys. There are rugby clubs. There are a lot of sports here in Madrid. Formula One and in the next year. So there are plenty of things to do here in our community. So yeah, of course, Madrid is one of the capital of sports. Real Madrid, Atlético de Madrid, these big clubs of the world are here. We are approaching to them. Leganés, Rayo Vallecano, Getafe. We are trying to approach all these big clubs. So yeah, I think there are big opportunities here in our community, that Madrid is growing and growing, and that the politicians are making politics in order to be in favor of all these things too, and that is really important.
Incredible journey, isn't it, Bijit?
Amazing.
Yeah, now, and we have talked about the big guns.
Yeah.
And if we take a step back, in some sense, if we go down to the lower leagues of
the second division.
Yeah. There are still so many clubs fighting from the city of Madrid.
You have Alcorcón, you have now Fuenlabrada in the Primera RF, and you have Rayo Majadahonda, I think in the Primera RF or the Segunda RF.
Yeah.
So they are still clubs from Madrid. They have very good academies. They're very good international academies. So in a club like Fuenlabrada or in a Alcorcón, you have players from 20-30 different countries coming and training with their academies. And if you remember the Alcorconazo, the 4-0 defeat of Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey by Alcorcón, which is incredible.
They were in second division at the time, I think.
If you remember, that year they spent close to 250 million to buy Benzema, Kaká, Cristiano Ronaldo and Xavi Alonso.
Maybe it was a domino effect started by Alcorcón.
Yeah, it was. For me, it was incredible to watch,
Yeah, and when talking about grassroots, of course, you work in the grassroots in some way as well.
Yeah.
In the MadCup, can you elaborate the audience about what the MadCup is and how it helps the grassroots?
Sure. So yeah, I'm working as an international consultant for MadCup, and MadCup is a tournament which is started by the Atlético de Madrid Academy, the Community of Madrid, the Federation of Football in Spain and the Federation of Football de Madrid, and along with the United Nations Tourism. Right. So you have 5 big pillars supporting this tournament. We had till till this edition, which is the 5th edition, we had teams from 52 different countries.
52 different countries.
Yes, even from countries like Colombia, Guatemala, Mexico, or South Korea, Japan, Portugal, you name it. This year there's going to be a team from India as well for the first time.
Incredible. It's like a platform for the world to come and show their talent.
Absolutely, yeah. So there are many stages like under 13, under 14, under 16, even under 19. So just imagine like people who are coming from countries which are not, giant footballing nations like India, for example. And they're going to be playing against teams like Atlético de Madrid or Real Madrid Academy.
Right.
The players they're going to be playing against, they're probably going to play in the next World Cup in Spain in 2030. Or they're going to be, legends in the future, moving on to teams like Bayern Munich in the future, or, like becoming the next Carvajal or Alvaro Morata.
Yeah, possibly a kid from India might come out here and play against someone who will win the Ballon d'Or in the next 15 years.
Absolutely, yeah. You said it very well, yes.
Yeah. Well, we can keep going on Madrid and football and our love for football. We love to discuss football, but we do have a time constraint in this show. So we have approached the end of the first episode of Beyond Madrid. More episodes will come, so make sure you follow our social media and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. But before we go, I'd like to end by quoting the mayor of Madrid I have with us. The mayor of Madrid said, "In Madrid, football built more than just stadiums. It built identity, ambition and global reach, and as the city rises beyond the pitch, hosting not just matches but moments that shape the world of sport, one thing is clear: Madrid is no longer just the capital of Spain, it's the capital of world of sports, and football is the primary step to it." So,
absolutely.
An incredible note to end this show. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me here, Ritam. It's a pleasure again.
It was a pleasure. It was a lovely discussion and hope to see you again soon. But for now, it's adios and hasta luego from me, Ritam, and with me, Bijit. Thank you.